No, yeah, and you know what was weird, and I don't know, he was driving so fast, and it's, who knows, maybe hit debris or something that caused the tire to start wobbling like that. It was kind of weird to have it kind of come back in place, though. There's video on the left-hand side or right-hand side of your screen. Watch, and all of a sudden,
it was violent.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty strong.
And it caused him to slow down. He was going over 100 miles an hour, and it brought him down to like 50. So that was the only good thing about it. But then just as fast as it started wobbling, it popped itself kind of right back into place.
Yeah, there may be people out there watching who may be familiar with this type of Jeep, and maybe they can let us know what exactly might be happening here. But yep, seems like the driver was able to keep going there, slowed down a little bit, and the wheel somehow popped back into place.
It's amazing that this driver was able to keep control of that Jeep. These are kind of top heavy, and keeping it under control is certainly a major task there. But we're watching because this driver has gotten off of the 105 and now on surface streets here. And we know Friday around 3:30 usually there's a lot of traffic. Right now they've got plenty of open space here on West 120th Street.
Yeah, and just to the left of the shot here, that was Hawthorne Airport that Desmond and our pilot are having to navigate very carefully right now. So you'll see our shot kind of go in and out. It's just because of the airspace that we are in. But yeah, 120th Street, we are westbound on 120th. Your next major that we are going to approach is Prairie, which will be on the end of the runway at Hawthorne Airport. And, this will start up in Southwest Division, which is essentially up near Exposition Park in USC. So we've gotten significantly away from that area right now. So it's stolen, so we don't know much about the driver. It's not one of those situations where we can figure out, okay, the car is registered to somebody in Hawthorne, maybe that's where they're going. We don't know any details really about the driver. And Des, have you been able to see in at all if there's more than one person?
We have not had a good opportunity to see inside. See if we can just kind of zoom in and see what their posture's like right now. At least they have both hands on the wheel. But if we get a chance to, we'll see if we can get through and see through the windshield at some point as we're into a parking lot and just kind of cutting across traffic, it looks like. Yeah, so just a little bit of an attempt to get around that stopped intersection. Let's see if we can see if anyone is in the passenger seat.
Looks like there is.
It kind of looks like it, right? I think there is someone in the passenger seat there. I see. Yeah, I'm sure they're holding on for dear life right now because the suspect has been driving pretty crazy. Now, up to on these tiny little residential streets, just blowing through stop signs. And again, Friday rush hour traffic already went through it on the 110 and the 105. So as we're getting south of Hawthorne Airport now into Hawthorne proper, always nerve-wracking on these little streets, really just kind of threading the needle, squeezing between those vehicles. You see everyone else trying to slow down. They hear the lights and sirens blasting through a busy intersection right here on El Segundo Boulevard, a very busy street that will take us to the South Bay, cutting across the wrong side. That's going to be a really close call right there for actually even closer for LAPD. But those units are still right there, and they are being surprisingly aggressive about this. And for a stolen vehicle, they were in tracking mode, then pursuit, and then back to tracking. But we're definitely in a full-blown pursuit at this point as we trend southbound now.
Desmond, would you say they're heading maybe back towards the USC area? Where would they be heading, you think?
No, we're headed southbound. We're way away from the USC now at this point. Started in the South LA area. We first heard about it not too far away from USC. I think like kind of Normandy and Vernon was one of the first radio calls that I had heard, and then we came southbound 110, and we've just been kind of trending farther away at this point, although now we're eastbound on 133rd, and then the right-hand turn back onto Prairie, another very busy street. And you see all of the cars that are out here, and this person has not hesitated to go through red lights, through stop signs, wrong side of the road driving, and LAPD still keeping with it at this point.
Yeah, some real aggressive driving here, and you just worry about all those people out on the road, unaware that this Jeep is going to come barreling up behind them or to the side of them as they've been running through these intersections, through those stop signs. And, things are going to get a little busier as we get a little closer to the 4 o'clock hour.
Boy.
Look at this.
Wow.
Cutting off a mail truck right there.
Mail delivery truck, yeah.
So I did.
And, he probably, because of those mail trucks have, the right-hand driver there, he probably didn't even see him.
You're right.
Probably really freaked him out right there. So you see just the desperation of this suspect, but kind of getting themselves into a jam right now. See if they're able to fit this vehicle through without hitting any other cars. But still aggressive, going by an ice cream truck. You could have some kids out in this area right now as well. So boy, the definitely heightened danger on these smaller surface streets.
And we are going back into tracking mode now, Desmond. The watch commander just said, hey, if we're clear of all the airspace issues, let's go ahead and go back into tracking. Remember, the airship, when we were coming down the 110 and even by the 105, said because of the Hawthorne and LAX airspace issues, we should not track, because if we lose him, if you lose him on the ground, we will likely lose him in the air as well, because we won't be able to maneuver through that airspace issue. So the incident commander on the pursuit just said, if we're clear of those airspace issues, let's now initiate tracking and go back into tracking mode. So as Desmond widens out his shot, that was kind of a weird sharp turn there, but
whoa, what are you doing?
Whoa.
Oh, geez.
Is that higher down?
That's what I thought too, but.
Yeah, he's slowing way down. Like maybe there's an issue here.
Is that a female driver?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, it looks like
she's stopping.
Looks like maybe like with the crop top on there. So all of a sudden we're at a stop. Not sure what happened with the vehicle. Maybe that just kind of freaked them out, but maybe they ran out of gas. Whatever the case, they have decided they have enough. They've had enough and out all of a sudden and complying. And we'll see if that's a male companion here, but I mean, boy, we're giving up really quickly now as well. Not even any hesitation. You're supposed to turn around though, follow the directions. Just acting like she's confused, but and the passengers got their hands up as well. So after that really dangerous maneuver, a near head-on collision, all of a sudden we're coming to an end here. Fonthill Avenue at Rosecrans with the driver being taken into custody, and this the passenger will be next.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see if there are only two people in that Jeep or if there was anyone in the back seat. It was very interesting how she got out kind of nonchalantly, you know, and going back there.
Almost annoyed.
Yeah, like she didn't understand why they were yelling commands at her.
This looks like a young person, too.
Definitely.
Yeah, fairly hard to say, maybe in their 20s or something, but all right, now him being taken into custody as well. You know, these Jeeps do have back seats, so we'll see. They're going to want to come clear the vehicle. They're going to shout out a few more commands before they go. We didn't have an opportunity to see if there was anyone else in the vehicle, but you've also got the big, cargo compartment as well. So see if anyone else in the car as they come clear the vehicle, and hopefully we'll see 4 fingers for a Code 4, all clear here shortly.
And these Jeeps don't have any of these technology where you can just cut the engine off yet, right? That's not out there.
It is a relatively newer Jeep, so I don't know if
it
they
just
have this.
Came to a stop.
Yeah, it almost seemed like that somebody hit a kill switch or something, the way that it just rolled over into that other lane and then came to that stop.
Yeah, if this was equipped with that, it probably would have been like an aftermarket feature. I believe, OnStar, the GM products are some of the only vehicles that have that, and we have seen that, in the past, used to disable one of these vehicles, and some of the electric cars may have them as well, but not entirely familiar if Jeeps have that. But one way or another, very strange how just so aggressive, and then all of a sudden came to an end. They just maybe ran out of gas or had enough. That was a really close call, near head-on collision with another vehicle there. But regardless, it is over, and the danger came to an end just at the right time as we're getting on with Friday rush hour here in very warm Southern California.
That is good news. And Desmond, it looks like they're checking that front tire that we saw wobbling on the freeway, and I guess they've already cleared the rest of the vehicle there. That front bumper
vehicle
looks pretty
is clear.
messed up,
We saw the code 4. There is. Yeah, maybe something with the bumper looks like it's a little something happened with that. So they probably hit something on the freeway. There's so much debris out there, and they were on the right-hand shoulder at times. So wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. Unfortunate for the owner of this vehicle, but hopefully they have good insurance, and hey, at least it didn't end in a crash for them.
Indeed, a code 4 there happening just a short time ago. A pursuit suspect now in custody along with a passenger. We're going to take you back to regular programming for Desmond Shaw, Mike Rogers, Amy Johnson. I'm Juan Fernandez. We'll have the very latest for you coming up right here at 4.